Well, hello all and welcome. I hope you're all doing well. I'm round here on the plot, as you can see, and I'm doing my first seed sowing on the plot for 2023. That's a must. Show you what I'm doing. Doing peas, Hurst green shaft. Now about 3 years ago I switched to Hurst green shaft. I used to grow Kelvedon Wonder, and the process that I'm going to show you me doing is how I've always done my peas, apart from the very early days. But over the past 5-6 years, the way I'll show you now is the way I've done them. And I used to do Kelvedon Wonder, and they were a great pea. Nothing wrong with them at all. Nice pea. And I was looking through a seed catalogue and I came across Hurst green shaft, and for all intents and purposes, identical pea, grows to the same height and so on. And the only big difference was that with Hurst green shaft you get 2 pods per node. Now each pod contains 8 to 10 peas, just the same as the Kelvedon Wonder, but the big difference, as I say, is you get the 2 pods per node. And I'm thinking, switching to Hurst green shaft, I could be doubling my harvest of peas. And so I switched, and I've never looked back. I shall keep going with them. And as I say, it's a no-brainer when you think about it. You've got a plant that grows the same as the Kelvedon Wonder, but instead of you getting basically 1 pod per node, you're getting 2 on the Hurst green shaft. So as I say, doubling your harvest. So I'll get and set you up. What I've done with regards to the beds, I'm only going to show you the one. I'm going to do 3 rows, but I'll just show you me doing the one. But each one has had a little bit of pelletized chicken muck added to it, and some compost. It's some fresh compost, not spent. It's some actual fresh clover, and I've worked that in. And I'll get and turn you around and show you me sowing the actual peas. Right, so this is where I'm going to put peas. I'm going to put some in the end of that bed there and the end of that bed there. And as I say, all 3 beds have been treated the same. I'm using a small rake here. This must only be 10, might be 12 inches, but I doubt it. That's only going to be about 10 inches wide. Thank you, Dave. Mate of mine, old school pal actually, gave me this some years ago, and I know you watch from time to time, Dave. Still using it. Great little bit of kit. And what I'm going to do is, that is going to be the width of my seed bed, and all I'm going to do is just rake it through, trying to keep nice and straight. As you would expect. I know I'm going to state the obvious, but as you would expect, at this end there's more soil stroke compost, but we'll rake this back this way. And well, excuse my best profile. Right, there we go. So that will do as my bed. Now for the seeds. Now I don't know how many's in here. These generally no, but they're generally something like about 250 seeds, something like that. Well, I'm going to put all these in and more, because all I'm going to do is just broadcast sow. I'm not going to put them in any pattern. Not going to. I know the normal thing is to dot them, do a zigzag at about 2 inches apart, but I'm doing them, do this broadcast sowing just a few at a time, just to get started, and then I'll open up another pack and just go through where it may look a bit sparse, where I may have missed. This may seem excessive, but a fellow plot holder told me to do this with, he's grown Erskine green shaft for I don't know how many years, and he said that he gets a better result through sowing them heavy like this. Another pack needed, which I happen to have over here. Put that in there, and I'm gonna use about half of this pack just to, as I say, just to fill up 1 or 2 little bits of gaps. Somewhere that might look a bit sparse. I've got plenty with me. I always buy plenty of seed. I think that will do. He says as he keeps adding more, that'll do. We'll leave it at that. Now what I'm going to do as well is, the ground isn't too bad, it's quite moist, but I'm going to give these a watering. Not yet, I shall backfill them and then give them a watering, because being peas, they will take up quite a bit of moisture. So we'll just rake the soil across. I'm not too bothered about putting an exact marker. I have got, he says, fumbling in his pocket, I have got a label. All I've written on it is P and the date, which today the date is the 7th of the 4th. So I'm going to put them there. You'll see why I'm not too bothered with an exact marker in a moment. Let's put a bit more. Started exposing them. Hey, that's better. That's more like it. We'll just flatten that down so that we make sure the soil and compost mix is in good contact with the seed. And then what I'm going to do is get a netting. This really is to stop any of the birds getting in and having a feast on the seed. We'll put a brick, gather that together, put a brick on there, and then keeping it fairly taut, just go along pushing the spikes in, the net in, and this end we will put them in at a bit of an angle, and again get another brick that can go down on there, and that's them basically sewn. I will now get in water, and I shall probably put at least 2 cans of water on here. I should really get and use me hose, because it's this time of year the water has been turned on. We've got taps and the water has been turned on, and I remember last year I connected my hose up, and as soon as I turned the tap on, the water was absolutely flooding out through the handle. It had obviously frozen up over winter and broken, but use a good old watering can, and that's my first sowing on the plot for 2023. As I say, I'm going to do some more over on that bed there, and I'll do some more on there, but it's only going to look the same as this, so I won't bother bringing you back to show you what I've done. But yeah, I feel now like I'm starting to get and achieve something now that I'm starting to get some seed sowing done. Feels as though I'm, you know, the season's started properly. Right, I'm in the greenhouse. There's a little something that I want to show you. I've just cut the lawn, and these are my early potatoes. These are rocket. They went in the 2nd of the 4th. Today is 20th, and they're all coming along nicely. That looks a bit sparse, but there's some more coming there, another one coming up there, so they're all doing quite nicely. What I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put some of the grass clippings over the top, so that it helps to secure the moisture and retain the moisture in here. It's in the greenhouse. This greenhouse it's been 40 degrees C, so it's been quite warm. So what I'm going to do is just sprinkle a bit of this round. I don't want to cover everything up too much, but you know, just put a bit in. The obvious thing with regards grass cuttings would be the compost bin, I know, but this is another good way of using them up. Just, it'll help to retain, as I say, help to retain any moisture. Stops them drying out so quickly, and you can always keep topping up. As this starts to rot down, because these will be going to stay in here now for a while. I've seen the forecast where it says possibly going down to 0 degrees next week, so I don't want to get I don't want to get and put these out, because when they do go out, they're just going out literally there, the other side of the greenhouse. And so it won't matter too much. There we go. A little bit more. That's it. I'll just take you off here and show you what I've done. There you go, as you can see, all covered now, and that will help just to, as I say, to retain some moisture, so they don't dry out so often, especially with them being in the greenhouse here, and we're getting some quite good temperatures. So I just thought I'd show you that. It's a little something. The obvious is to put the grass cuttings into a compost bin, but this is another little job that you can do if you're growing potatoes in buckets. Well, that's it for this one. Thank you all very much for watching. It really is very much appreciated. I'm glad that I've got those peas in. Today is the 20th of April, and I was round on the plot yesterday, and there's just the odd signs of them starting to come up, so that's always a good thing. Although I've not shown it, but I've potted on some of my tomatoes. I've sown my French beans, my sweet corn. I've done some of the flowers, some cosmos, calendula, zinnia. Got some of those done. So we're all going along quite nicely at the moment. So as I say, thank you all very much for watching. Be good. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. And I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra a bit.